The best part of reading an Arcade Striker fic is that you know what you're going to get. You're going to be happy. You're going to relax. This is why I'm right now got a cup of tea, and I feel like I'm reading a good friend. Chapter 3. With a flash of light, Twilight, King, and Kirk appeared in front of Twilight's castle. King slowly stood up and looked around.
Barely any time at all. Much more efficient than our teleporters, Princess. If we could learn how you do this naturally, we'd be able to emulate it with our own transporters. This would be a great boon for everyone, and bring honor and glory to your family.
Twilight grinned. I'd be more than happy to research ways to do that, Captain. Kirk walked up to the castle's front wall. He slowly held up a hand to the violet crystal, noting the soft luminescence. There's power here. This castle, Twilight. This crystalline formation. How was it formed? Twilight let out a lone nicker. That, Captain, is a bit of a long story, admittedly. Will it be alright if I told you after the tour, or maybe during it? Kirk slowly nodded. That would be fine, Twilight. I look forward to hearing it. Twilight led the pair up the doors. Well, for the record, this is the Castle of Friendship. A horn glowed and the double doors slowly opened. It's my residence, along with my assistant Spike, and... Twilight's eyes went wide. She slammed the door shut. Captain, if you could, excuse me, she said, her right eye twitching. King's right hand drifted down to the structure holster on his belt.
What's going on, Princess?
A nervous chuckle escaped Twilight. Inside? Inside, yes. There's nothing going on inside, Captain King. Her horn let out. Nothing bad, I hope. She suddenly vanished.
King growled. Jump here to the Trasascan razor beast.
Kirk's jaw came to the right. He held his hands. Can't disagree with you on that, King. He got to the door. Think someone threw her a party and forgot to tell her? King barked a laugh.
Ha! I wouldn't mind a bit of merriment, Kirk.
He arched an eyebrow to catch its expression.
Surprised? We Cleons are dull work of scheming or fighting. Mara and I enjoy going out for an evening of entertainment. We're fond of opera and the occasional concert.
A sigh escaped Kirk. A bit surprised, yes. I'll admit, I'm not sure I can envision you two going out for a night on the opera.
King half smiled. Would it make it easier to know we both bring our relatives with us, in case we are just pleased with the performance?
That would make it easier, yes. Of course, Klingons would bring battlers to an opera, and of course, Klingon reviews would be bloodied. Wow. Can you imagine movie reviews like that?
Hello, and welcome to atop the fourth wall. I am Likara, and tonight I present to you a comic that has dishonored me. Slash!
Twilight appeared in the front hall. Peggy! Peggy hopped from one end of the table over to Twilight. Do you like it? Do you like it? I do. Do you like your question again? Sorry, Mr. Chandelier. I think we got everything again. Why should I have to... Twilight stuck a hoof in Piggy's mouth. Piggy, you did a good job cleaning this up. Thank you very much for taking the time and effort. She looked around. Thank you, everyone. I really do appreciate your hard work. She stopped and locked eyes with Pinky. Wait, what about the chandelier? Applejack cleared her throat. I think I hear a butt in that first part, Shurikyu. Twilight's cheeks colored slightly. Right. But I don't think it would be wise to just surprise them, or act a bit enthusiastic, at least. Piggy leaned back, excavating Twilight's hoof. I understand, Twilight. No shouting, no jumping up and down. She paused. Twilight rubbed her chin. Maybe later. She turned and opened the doors for her magic. Captains?
Come now, Kirk. Mara and I thought the Federation had death camps and planned the destruction of the Empire. I'll proudly admit we can be fierce warriors, but there's more to us than combat and killing.
True, King. Our little trip on the Enterprise made that quite clear. All presidents die hard. Kirk stopped speaking in turn. Well, any problems inside? Twilight shook her head. No, Captain Kirk. She walked up to the two and escorted them inside. Everyone, this is Captain James Kirk of the United Federation of Planets, and Captain King of the Klingon Empire. Captains, these are my best friends. Howdy, Captains. It is wonderful to see such handsome-looking officers. Hello, sirs. Hey, welcome to the coolest planet in the galaxy. Pinkie Pie hopped forward with a tray of food bounced her head. Welcome to Equestria, she shouted, tossing up and down. A muffin flew up in Kirk's direction, while a broiled sandwich on a stick tumbled over King. Enjoy! Kirk whipped the muffin over. Thank you, Pinkie. He took a small bite of the muffin, then another large one. Quite nice. Pinkie beamed down and jumped up and down. Thank you, Captain. King let the salmon over, nose wrinkled as he sniffed at it, finally taking a bite.
Not bad,
He made. He looked at Kirk.
I thought you said horses on Earth were herbivores.
Kirk held up a hand. Mostly herbivores, King. I've seen more than one horse kill a squirrel and eat it back on the farm. He spread his arms out. No, this is my old farm, of course. He wanted to feel his Applejack arched an eyebrow.
Must have been one hungry horse to do that.
First I walked over to the captains. I'm very happy to hear you like the salmon, Captain King. I caught and cooked it myself.
RK Striker, I could hug you sometimes. I really would.
King tore a large strip and swallowed it, before finishing it off. As soon as he stripped it to the bone, Pinkie stood before him, a mug of cider bounced on her head. He slowly picked it up off her and looked it over.
Not quite Ragnar or blood wine.
He took a sip, twisting his mouth before swallowing it.
I may grow to like this place, or at least its cuisine. This drink is good. Another.
Kirk smiled. Well, King, it's a stop. He looked down and spotted Pinkie with another mug of cider in her hand. His brow furrowed, but he picked it up and tilted it to King. To Friendship, King, and to you. King said nothing, but tilted his own mug impeccably towards Kirk before draining it dry. Twilight slowly wandered from the pair and over to Applejack and Reaper desk. Hey, have either of you seen Spike? I'm surprised he's not down here. I need to ask him something. Applejack waved a foreleg to the back door leading to the kitchen. That's all, the little guy. He was still working on the food. No more scales off his claws. He was doing something so quick making food and getting the place right. Twilight glanced at the door, face smiling slightly. Poor guy. I was fighting so much about this and he wanted to help out as much as he could. She stopped the hoof on the ground. I'm getting out of here and getting him an extra large rupee as a present for him. Rapidas took another gulp from a mug of cider and let out a little sigh. That's the good stuff. She went to Twilight. What do you need Spike for anyway? Twilight glanced back at King and Kirk. Well, you know about the magic mirror. Sunset and the alternate reality where everyone kind of looks like them? Applejack's jaw dropped. Oh, horse apples! You think they came from there? Applejack rolled her eyes. Applejack, they're not from another dimension, right? She leaned over and looked at the two captains. First I was conversing with King, while Reggie was eyeing Kirk. Are they? Twilight rolled her eyes. No, Dash, they're not from another dimension, I think. A clipboard and quill floated out of her saddlebag. I might have to look onto that with Sunset. Applejack reached over and pushed the clipboard down, and locked eyes with Twilight. Twilight, I don't think it would be too good of an idea to go back to Caroline High while we got aliens visiting Equestria. Not be a bit rude. Settle there, but don't you go traipsing over here, you hear? Twilight swallowed. Gosh, you're right. I can settle there, no problem. She reached out and patted Applejack on the shoulder. Thanks. I'm going to see Spike for a moment. With that, she walked back through the doors to the kitchen. Applejack and Rainbow Dash exchanged a look. Think we got a tower girl? Applejack asked. Rainbow Dash wriggled her head back and forth. She'll be fine, I think. She drained her mug dry. I hope. Mara stood in the Enterprise bridge, next to Spock's science station. She inserted a computer tape into a slot on the plastic console. I'm a little surprised how technology is so compatible. Spock, standing next to her, arched an eyebrow. I have identified the interface for a wide variety of non-Federation information storage units. Considering the wide variety of systems I have encountered, I felt a logical course of action. The computer states a word, click, and clacked. A vaguely feminine voice sounded out over the intercom. Data input successful. Integrating with previous scans. Spock pressed a few buttons. It turned to dial on his console. He then turned and walked to the main view screen, past Sulu as he sat in the captain's chair.
Mr. Sulu, with your permission.
Sulu leaned forward and gripped the armrest tight.
Mr. Spock, go ahead. I am itching to see what we got here.
Spock.
Computer. Display sensor information from Conagros sensor logs, starting from their entrance into the ecosystem.
The computer triple beeped. Analyzing. The image on the view screen changed from Equus to an overview of the system itself. Lines, charts, and boxes of text sprang up. The rest of the bridge cleared, all slowly looked at the view screen. Mara walked up to Spock's side as he pointed to a pile of lines, one that reached from Equus to the star, and from the Equus to the planet's moon.
Princess Sparkle said that Celestia is the one who controls the sun. The prize sensors have detected gravimetric distortions coming from the planet, along with some other energy waves. We have been able to trace it to the star, and another to the moon as well.
She bared her teeth in a grin.
Celestia and Luna, act names. Twilight Sparkle, Blueblood.
Dealing back.
Does this mean he's anemic?
Sulu spoke up.
Actually, Lieutenant, Blueblood used to refer to upper classes of nobility on Earth. It wasn't exactly used in the most flattering manner.
Spratford.
Wait, one of them has the actual name Blueblood?
Mara barked a laugh.
Ha ha! Yes! He did not make the best impression on anyone there. The Twilight Sparkle seemed to have seen to him before.
She looked at Spock.
I think this is something we should investigate, among other things.
Spock arched an eyebrow.
It would be an interesting query, Mara. Our sample size has been quite a bit limited so far. I will send Commander Uhura to investigate further.
As the communications assassin, Lieutenant Morris spoke up. Well, you'll be able to get a larger sample size at dinner tonight, the Catalonian said, her whiskers twitching. Mara turned and glanced at Morris.
I almost forgotten about that.
She looked at the view screen and scowled.
I do not have time for false frivolities. There are so many questions. How does Celestia control the sun precisely? The gravimetric distortions we detected shouldn't be enough to move the star. Is he utilizing subspace? What does it have to do with that unknown energy? How is he doing it? How does he gain control of the sun in the first place? If it was her and not some other being.
Morris leaned back in her chair, drugged her hawse against the console, producing tiny dents. She and her sister could be a part of a race of this alien beings in the guise of mortals. The Organians appeared as Iron Age peasants when we first encountered them. And look at what they did in else. They could have also evolved this way from ponies themselves.
Spock turned to her.
Princess Sparkle did mention she received her wings approximately a year and a half ago. Your observations definitely merit further investigation intent. Mrs. ears perked up. Thank you, sir.
Mara shook her head. I'm not sure if it would be wise to ask during dinner. May sound cowardly, but I do not wish to risk the ire and facing down a solar flare or the moon being used as a battering ram against our ships.
Spock arched an eyebrow.
As a wise man once said, only a fool fights in a burning house, and one should not confuse caution with cowardice.
Mara snorted and crossed her arms.
I hate to admit it, but you're right, Spock. Only a fool fights the storm. We could ask Princess Sparkle, but I'm not sure what she knows of it. She expressed shock at the idea of a heliocentric star system. It's possible she's never done much research into the system.
Spock arched an eyebrow. I find that highly unlikely, Mara. At the very least, we will not know what she knows until we ask.
A bark of laughter escaped Mara. Ha! You're right! She looked herself over, expressing darkening. Neither Kang nor I are diplomats. He is a warrior, while I am more at home in the lab. We still do not know why we were chosen for this assignment.
Sulu rubbed his chin and thought.
Maybe the politicians remember last year, when we managed to cooperate and fight off that thing that was manipulating us to fight each other. As Mr. Spock would say, with a
Logical choice for the diplomatic mission. Mara looked at him. A good explanation as any. She looked back to Spock. I must return to the Pride and prepare for dinner, as well as checking our own senses. She stuck to her chest. Kapla, Spock! Spock held his right hand up, seeing her explain the traditional Vulcan salute. Live long and prosper, Mara. He turned to salute as Mara walked to the turbo lift. Commander, it would be most prudent for us to prepare for dinner as well. The senior staff of both vessels shouldn't be in attendance. Sulu was sitting out of the command chair and tied down his shirt. Probably wouldn't be a good idea to be outdone by Klingons' diplomacy. He turned his face away to the aft turbo left, Spock following. I think that's one achievement the Enterprise doesn't want to be first in. You know, Sulu, you're gonna make a good captain one day. Foreshadowing! Oh no! Spock shook his head. I do not, Commander. I do not believe we would ever escape that stigma. The turbo lift's door slid open, allowing the pair open. Lieutenant Morris, you have the call, he said, mere moments before the lift opened. Officer, thanks to Talon and Thor and Sunsu for pre-ring. Number 2, if anyone checks the Fluttershy in the salon, kindly go back to Fluttershy and that shot of her feeding dead fish to ferrets and live worms to birds. Anybody have any complaints? No! I thought as much. Pardon brevity. I was up to date before the holiday season hit. Kirk finished off his muffin. As soon as he swallowed, another one bounced up out. He caught it, but lowered it down to Pinkie Pie. Thank you, Miss Pie, but I think I'm full. Pinkie Pie nodded. I think you, Captain. You're being much right telling them. Her tongue sneaked out, ran around the muffin and pulled it to her mouth. Gulped it out green. Verity rolled her eyes. Pinkie Pie, please. Don't be so uncouth around our guests. She looked at Kirk. Please accept my apologies for her behavior, Captain. Pinkie means well, but she could be a bit funnish. Captain Kirk held out a hand. Thank you, Miss Bell, but it's quite all right. She's a wonderful cook, and she'll enjoy the fruits of her labor. He paused. So, you're a seamstress? Verity tossed her head back and forth. Well, I prefer to think of myself as an artiste, and fabric is my canvas. She stood up on her hind legs. I use fabric, gemstones, and thread to create wonderful works of art. She looked Kirk up and down, eyes narrowing. Your uniform is a bit... I suppose functional would be preferable in space, correct? She held a puff. Oh, and please call me that. A smile crossed Kirk's mouth. Very well, Rarity. He went to Pinkie Pie. And your profession, Miss Pie, let me guess. Pinkie? Pinkie Pie let out the Giles gasp. How did you know? Lucky guess. Pinkie Pie nodded happily. Yeah, I love the Mr. and Mrs. Sneaky Corey at Ponyville. Before that, I lived with my family on our rock farm. Her eyes glazed over slightly, making focus. All day long, illustrating rock of the fields, move the crystals from the south field to the north field, to inspire from the... Kirk coupled a hand. Wait, did you say rock farm? It stopped and worked for a moment. Is that some sort of mine? Does your family work in mineralogy? Pinkie Pie laughed to wave them off. Oh, no. The Pie's family's been farmers for generations. Well, okay. My sister's mom's getting rock through it, but it's bringing us a sense of our higher education. Kirk hesitated. I see. So what does your family do with these rocks? Rarity waved Kirk down to her. She stood in her large leaned close. Captain, if I may explain a bit better. Pinkie's family uses earth-cutting magic to imbue certain kinds of rocks and crystals with naturally occurring energy. Admittedly, some of it does involve thinking about rocks, but it's more about placement of them. Kirk nodded, expressing clearing. I see. Thank you, Pink Rarity. I looked at Pinkie Pie, and I apologize for my confusion, Pinkie. As my first officer would say, it sounds quite fascinating. Pinkie waved him off. Oh, don't worry, Captain. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. With that, she turned to hop back to one of the buffet tables. Kirk watched her bounce away. I should have Scotty look into this rock farming. Perhaps with Ensign Durant. Randy looked back to Kirk. So, Captain, I'll be able to introduce you to civilian style clothes. Truth be told, barring Spike, I don't believe I ever worked on a biped before. Wait, Rarity, before you continue, I gotta check. Who's this Durant guy? Come for the character? Examinations stay for the references to continuity that requires me to look up memory alpha. Must be an arcade fic. Off to the side, King stood near a wall. Applejack and Fluttershy flanking him. Held him a mug of cider and eyed it.
So, you call this cider?
Applejack nodded, grin. Yes, sir. Made with pride of my family. You can't get there, cider, anywhere in Questvia. I said, no, I'll make it myself. King barked a laugh. He tilted the mug back and took a sip. He twisted it around his mouth before swallowing.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
He took a big gulp.
It's bringing honor to your house, Applejack.
Applejack slid off her hat into her head and held it close to her chest. Thank you kindly, Captain. She paused and nursed an eyebrow. Beg your pardon, but what's house mean the way you used it? King looked down at her.
My family, extended family, all our property and holdings. I am the head of my house, the House of Kang.
Applejack slowly nodded. I'll get. I'll be a part of the House of Apple then. I can't get all across Crustia. She went to Fluttershy. Sound about right? Fluttershy nodded. I think it's a wonderful name, Applejack. She looked back to King. Captain, can I get you any more salmon? I got other meat-based foods too. Do you eat plants or baked goods?
King shrugged. It depends, he smiled slightly. My mother makes the best rookie blood pie in the whole Beta Quadrant. Whenever I came home from the academy, I walk in, and the smell would hit me like a destructive blast.
He looked to the tables.
Did you catch the fish yourself?
Fluttershy nodded. Oh, yes. I take care of a lot of animals. They all have very dietary needs. Some eat plants, some eat meat, some eat a combination of both. All part of the circle of life. Applejack nodded. I hear on that, Winona. And King's look. She tried. 3 apple acres, my farm. All sorts of creatures, plus my dog Winona. Gotta make sure the purple are fed. King leaned forward a bit.
A farm, you say? How well is it run? How efficient is it?
Applejack's brow furrowed. Well, we'll do a good job. It's only 4 of us, you see. And Granny Smith is getting on years. We get 3, maybe 4 crops a year before.
3 or 4 crops,
King said, eyes lining. Applejack shrank back a bit. Yeah. Although some of the larger farms of my family can manage more. She paused. That problem? King shook his head.
I would call that a miracle, especially if we were to learn how to do it.
In her stare, he growled and stared off to the far wall.
Kronos has ample land, and many of the planets in the Empire are poor on resources.
Oh, gee, yeah, I hope a generator doesn't go off on one of the moons and causes a huge gigantic mission or something. Applejack scratched the side of her head. Well, I'm not sure how much of you Klingons can learn. I'll do my best to help. No one to go bed on the empty stomach. King looked up as Kirk walked over, ready in turn.
Ah, Kirk! Your legendary charm seems to be in action once more.
Kirk waved him off. Not this time, King. Although you seem to have a good point with forming with the equestrians yourself.
King grunted. Applejack has strong ties to her family and wishes to bring them honor. We'll see and Fluttershy recognize the realities of nature. Red tooth and claw. Correct the Klingon mindset, Captain.
Kirk held up a hand. Perhaps, King. But those qualities aren't exclusive to Klingons. The Federation values family, and we too recognize the realities of nature. You're not so different from the equestrians, but neither are we. The Gusto smiled across his lips. Perhaps we are not so different either. King leaned his head back.
I have respect for you, Kirk, but I doubt we have that much in common.
Kirk shrugged. Oh, I don't know. 2 starship captains, representing the best of our 2 governments. We came together once, King. Who's to says we can't do it again? There was a pause. King stood to his stance, but kept his eyes on Kirk. Expression neutral.
Extraordinary circumstances, Kirk. One that might not come again.
And aiming a rocket launcher at Kronos' moon! Applejack stood on her hind legs and held 4 legs out. Okay, you 2. I'm not exactly up to date on galactic politics or anything like that. But I do know a thing or 2 about people when they got nothing in common. Still get along strong, despite or even because of that. She dropped back down to all fours, King is lingering on Rarity. Josie, it's very worth it. Rarity giggled. Take it from her sentiment. She is the element of honesty after all. King opened his mouth but stopped. Brow wrinkled.
Element of honesty.
Rarity first and Applejack all looked at each other. Ah, horse apples, Applejack said, rolling her eyes. Sorry, Captain. Got kind of their small stuff. So we had to hoof at the other two. Rarity's the element of generosity. Flare has the element of kindness. Your blank expressed as he sighed. You got no idea what we're talking about, do you? Kurt's jaw worked for a moment. Are these ceremonial positions in your government? Do these titles carry actual weight? Mary spoke up. I say, Applejack. With the elements in the tree of harmony, are we really the elements of harmony anymore? And Applejack's glare, she chuckled nervously. Well, all right. King went to the Kirk's side.
I have a feeling none of our briefings have fully prepared us for this, Kirk.
Kirk nodded. I have a feeling you're right, King. Went around the room. Has anyone seen Twilight? Applejack struck down slightly. Well, she had to check on Spike and then write a letter to a friend. I shouted from Kirk to King. See, that's the truth, I swear. Kirk glanced at the door near the back. And this Spike is Applejack? Rarity spoke up. He's Twilight's assistant, and quite the dancing dragon, if I do say so. Kirk's eyes widened. An actual dragon? Fireside nodded. That's right, Captain. Twilight has this egg when she applied for Celestia School for Kitty Unicorns. They've been together ever since. King looked at Kirk.
Is there a problem? You look as Canis himself has just appeared before you.
Kirk looked at him, then back to Rarity and Fluttershy. Just remembering something I said during a log entry. You know, reading the stories make me want to watch Wrath of Khan, Star Trek VI. Twilight and Spike made their way to a room in the castle. Spike had a basket of gems slung around one arm, and he occasionally tossed a ruby or emerald in his mouth. I don't think Celestia's got any information on these guys, he said between chewing and swallowing. Do they have, only a few space stations in orbit or something? Oh, and thanks for the gems. Twilight glanced back as he entered the room, stood before a large mirror, and a technical magical contrast surrounding it. First off, thank you for doing all the hard work. Second, good point. I just want to make sure all the bases are covered. You never know. She turned back to the mirror, and a book floated up over to her. A quill and inkwell floated over and began to write in it. Dear Sunset Shimmer, hello. I hope things are going well over for you at Camelot High. I apologize for not writing lately, but it's been a busy couple of weeks. A probe from outer space has crashed down on the outside of Ponyville, and we had contact with people from the stars. The beings who landed here bear a striking resemblance to the humans where you live. It piqued my curiosity. Do the names Gene C. Kirk, Spock, or United Federations of Planets sound familiar to you at all? Any information would be appreciated. Thank you in advance. Twilight Sparkle. Spike spoke up as Twilight set the book back. So, do we wait? Twilight chuckled and shook her head. Probably not a good idea to keep our guests waiting too long. Faust knows what Sunset's doing right now. She waved Spike over as she hung her horn up. Speaking of lips, ready to meet the captains? Spike nodded. He raised a claw. Hey, think I can get a tour of their ships? Twilight rolled her eyes. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Horn flared as he teleported and bumped out of the room. As soon as Twilight and Spike left, words started to appear on the book's pages. Ha ha, Twilight! How did you find out Star Trek was one of my favorite shows?
Bubbles!
Twilight and Spike reappeared right outside the front hall. They entered, finding Kirk and King surrounded by every other guest. Several other long-friend residents that wandered in, listened to the two captains spoke, their voices raising and lowering. Kirk held up his right hand and waved it about. We work together, King, for the good of all, members of the Federation. Constance hands together. For the good of all, King snarled.
I will not apologize for my people being defeated and our planet plundered by the Hawk. They stripped us of almost everything but our honor. We had to strike out for our very survival. Do you deny our right to exist?
Kirk rounded on him. I am not denying your right to survive, King. What I do deny is your right to survive at the expense of others. You must have found a way to coexist and cooperate within the Federation.
King shook his head. Would you be able to? If the focus had come to conquer instead of help.
Kirk opened his mouth, but any rejoinder died to his lips. Twilight walked up and cleared her throat. Are you two all right? King's head shut down.
An old argument, Princess Sparkle. It's one of our nations had for a long time.
Kirk nodded. I apologize if the argument got out of hand, Twilight. Both King and I could be rather passionate about our views.
I would not respect you if you held back, Kirk.
King said, half smiling. Twilight motioned to Spike. Well, I would like to introduce you two to my assistant and best friend, Spike the Dragon. Spike stepped forward, swinging to a Texas salute.
Report for duty, Captains!
He leaned forward, grinning. Maybe if I know your sits. Twilight rolled her eyes. Spike! King barked a laugh.
Ha ha! Quite bold for one so small and young. Yes, Spike. Barring any problems, I'll give you and Princess Sparkle a tour of the pride.
Twilight's ears perked up and wings flared. Wait, really? Kirk held up a hand. Well, I'd be remiss if I didn't offer a tour of the Enterprise as well. For you and perhaps small groups as well. Hippodasa's head shot up. Wait, a tour of your ships? Up there, in outer space. Kirk and King exchanged a look. Well, yes, Kirk said. If you'd like to go, that. Hippodas flew up to his head, over to King's. Count me in! King eyed her.
Enthusiastic! I like you.
Kirk knelt down to Twilight and Spike. If I may ask, Twilight, how was I mention you were writing a letter to a friend? Anything wrong? Twilight's brow furrowed. I don't think so. I just need to touch base with a friend of mine in an alternate dimension. Kirk shot back to his feet. An alternate dimension? Twilight skidded back slightly. Yeah. Is that a problem, Captain? King leaned in close.
Kirk! You've gone quite pale.
The Enterprise gathered closer to Kirk. Their expression of concern for him. Pinkie Pie shot off, and returning with a mug of cider batter as it sat on her head. She bounced, sending it up over to Kirk. Kirk caught the mug and took a swig from it. Thank you, Pinkie. I apologize for that. 2 years ago, I was sent to an alternate dimension, thanks to a transporter accident, along with Aurora, Bones, and Chief Engineer Scott. We were transported to a warp, distorted distortion of the Federation called the Terran Empire. He looked over to King. It reminded me a bit of what Mara's told me about your information concerning the Federation. King chuckled.
Ha ha ha! Good point, Captain.
He looked at Twilight. We managed to escape by the skin of our teeth. Our counterparts returning at the same time. It was sobering to see the worst of what could happen. I was echoed to Twilight. It doesn't sound like what you described Carolina High as, Twilight. Still, Kirk held his palms out. I apologize if I caused undue worry, Twilight. I really hope your friend is all right. Twilight and Spike looked up at each other, then back at Kirk. Last time we checked, Spike said. Twilight, do you think maybe we should go check on the journal again? Twilight and Spike looked at each other. Twilight held up a foreleg. Let's not jump to the conclusion, Spike. A small bit of her mane sprang up. No! Don't do any conclusions that... Spike placed a hand over her muzzle and squeezed it shut. That's right, Twilight! No! Jumping to conclusions in front of tonight's captains. Twilight nodded. She waited for Spike to let go, then looked up to Kirk and King. So, gentlemen, again, apologies for the delay. Would you like a brief tour of the castle before tonight's dinner? King nodded.
A brief tour, Princess.
Kirk half smiled. I'd be honored. And here's the key mark room. Here's where my friends and I meet, discuss important matters, and even get missions from the map itself. Twilight led the two in the room. She flew up and around the table and waved to the 7 chairs. One each chair is for my fellow elements of harmony, and one is for Spike. King managed to lean at Kirk.
Is it my imagination, or does this castle seem a bit bigger on the inside than outside?
Kirk glanced down at the corner of his eye. Now that you mention it. The two walked over to the crystalline table. Twilight dropped over a chair. A holographic map of Equestria appeared. If there's a friendship problem in Equestria, the map lights up, and the key marks of the ponies are best suited to go solve the problem, blow where it's needed and help. King hovered over the map, eyes starting back and forth.
Kirk, How much of that did you understand?
People, I want you to accept the fun and silliness of this, that a strong badass like Kirk, plus a warrior race like a Klingon, especially a Klingon, are talking about cutie marks and a map. Sit back and just take it in, people. Just take it in. Kirk's jaw canted slightly. Most of it came, I think. He looked at Twilight. What is a cutie mark? Twilight blinked. Grunted slapped her forehead with a hoof. Oh boy, this is gonna take some time. She floated up, but turned around slightly to present her flank to the two. Alright, see this symbol here? It's my cutie mark. It represents a pony's special talent, what they like doing best. Most of the time it's pretty straightforward, but not all the time. Kane leaned forward.
Is it some sort of die? Is there a certain age you receive it? Are there trials to find your special talent?
Twilight's brow furrowed slightly. Well, no. It just shows up when you realize what you want to do with your life. It's not a die. And while it usually shows up when you're full, it doesn't always happen that way. She rubbed her chin. Darn it, there's so many gaps in our knowledge of each other. I tried to fill in the first contact teams as fast as I could, but there are just so many things that come to mind. Horn to flash. A scroll and quill and an inkwell appeared in front of her. I just started this list. Kirk held up on a hand. Twilight, I think at the moment any explanation would not be adequate. Leave gaps. Please, perhaps at a later time, when you're more fully prepared. It would be better for you to think it over a bit. Twilight nodded. Okay, that makes sense. She hung her head. I apologize for acting like that. Sometimes stress can lead me to a bit of rambling, taking actions before I finally think things out. It's a weakness of mine, and I still haven't gotten over it.
King smiled. One's heart can be quite powerful in overriding, Princess. The talent is staying your passions and directing them towards your goal.
The smile fell away.
Not all Klingons have mastered it.
Kirk looked down. Not all humans have either. Twilight's ears perked up. Oh, really? Both your people have that in common? Her eyes sparkled slightly. What about you two? You seem rather in control of yourselves, almost friendly.
King growled. I have respect for Kirk, Princess. He is honorable, and I owe him. Friendship, however, is not something I would claim with him.
Kirk jumped his steps. King, I'm hurt. Twilight flew up and ran over to you two. Well, it is fairly obvious in hindsight. You're not exactly on friendly terms. I think so. You two have a lot in common. That you can build it on a genuine friendship. She drew her wings around him. So what do you say? Care to give friendship a chance? King stared at her for a moment before raising his hand, blocking her wing from coming any closer.
You overreach yourself, Princess. Friendship is not something I can see myself having with Kirk. I respect him. I find him to be an honorable opponent even. But friendship,
He slowly shook his head.
Impossible. I'll give it about a few decades of the exploding moon.
Kirk regarded him. King, I've learned the impossible is not nearly an absolute term as I thought it once was. Twilight nodded. It's true, King. I made friends with a lot of people I never in a million moons thought I would. It's not easy, but it's worth it. She extended a foreleg. Would you consider it? King's eyes narrowed. He had to be his communicator.
Pride! Want to beam up.
He looked over and locked eyes with Twilight.
Thank you for the talk, Princess. It was most informative.
He glanced down.
Energize!
A swirl of red energy surrounded him as he disappeared. Twilight hung in midair, staring at the spot King occupied. She slowly dropped down to her throne, resting her forelegs on the table. Captain Kirk, I've heard a bit about how bad it's been between the Federation and the Klingon Empire. She looked down. Even near war a few times? Kirk knelt down. You are correct, Twilight. It has been bad. On the brink of war more than once. The Broken Bow incident was not the first way first contact should have gone. There have been a few bright spots, but not many. Twilight massaged her forehead. Friendship problems between two people, even groups of people, are one thing, but Interstellar Nations is a whole other league. Kirk shrugged. Well, Kang and I are individuals. Perhaps we should start small for now. Another old saying is that the longest journey begins with one step. Twilight nodded slowly, her expression brightening. Captain, I think you're right. She flew up and turned to face him. I'm going to take that small step, and maybe a few more. A horn lit up. You excuse me, Spike and I have a lot to do before dinner tonight. And with that, she vanished. Kirk chuckled. He saluted the communicator from his belt. Enterprise. Enterprise. Lieutenant Rest here, Captain. Kirk paused for a moment. Where's... Right, getting ready for dinner. Want to beam up, Lieutenant? Carolyn's Castle Main Hall had hosted many functions over the years, but none of them seemed to hold as much weight as the one being held at that night. Dignitaries, bureaucrats, royalty, Klingons, and humans were all about. Servants starting back and forth with trays of food and drink. Several groups clustered around buffet tables, while Arcadia Philharmonic and her band played on the main stage. Kirk, Spock, Buzz, and the rest of the command staff walked in, all dressed in uniform. I paced to the door and looked up at him. Announcing Captain James C. Kirk, Commander Spock, Lieutenant Commander Leonard McCoy, Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott, Lieutenant Commander Hikaru Sulu, Lieutenant Commander Natoya Uhura, and Lieutenant Pavel Chekhov of the U.S. Enterprise. All guests all turned, a hush standing over the crowd. Kirk flashed a smile at several points as he approached. Dipped out slightly as they chatted with him, smiling, trying to commit their faces and names to memory, at least for the course of the evening. The now familiar voice of Twilight caught his attention. He looked up and spied the princess flying off her, now dressed in regalia more fitting the occasion. Your Majesty, he said back slightly. Twilight chuckled, sketched a merrier brow toward him and the others. Good to see you. She waved a wing at the tables. We've had the fine sets of the question working all day to make this. Kirk nodded to her. And we appreciate the effort, Princess. He turned to the others. You've met Spock, Bones, and Aura. Allow me to introduce Hikaru Sulu, Chief Helmsman, Pavel Chekhov, Navigator, and Montgomery Scott, Chief Engineer. At her stare, she shrunk down slightly. Sorry, I did a bit more research this afternoon and found out your persistence. She looked close to Kirk. You weren't kidding about it being bad between your two governments. Kirk turned to the others. Hikaru, Pavel, Scotty, this is Princess Twilight Sparkle, Princess of Friendship for Equestria. Chekhov tilted his head slightly and smiled. Ah, Princess of Friendship. Must have inherited her title from Anastasia of the Romanovs. Twilight blinked, leaned close to Chekhov. Sorry, what? Who? Scotty patted Chekhov on the shoulder. Not. Not so confused or too much. He stopped around and bowed slightly to Twilight. Honored to meet you, Your Highness. Montgomery Scott, but you can call me Scotty. Oh God. No! Don't let those two talk! They spent all thick talking about engineering and physics programs! No! Twilight bit her lip. It's an honor to meet you as well, Scotty. She giggled slightly. I just realized you're the chief engineer of the Enterprise. You run the warp engines that enable your ship to go faster than light. I have so many questions that I want to ask you right now. But if I start, I may not stop. How can the answers overcome the light speed barrier without infinite energy, for one? Sky grinned. Ugh. I think you and I would get along just as well, Your Highness. Movement for Kirk Sakai cut his lip. He turned as Kang, Mara, and Kina walked over. All three clad in dress uniform that was more armor than cloth. Kirk nodded to the three. Enjoying yourselves. Kina grunted. The food is surprisingly good, and the Equestrians themselves are not as annoying as I thought they'd be. Leaning close. Their sauces, though. Ha ha! My grandmother and Sophocles would be the best of all of them. King glanced down with the corner of his eyes. Do not underestimate them, Kina. You and I both know how deceiving appearances can be. Kirk looked to Mara. I haven't had a chance to get more than a barest briefing from Spock about research. What progress have you made? Mara looked at Spock, even as the Vulcan broke from the air as it set towards them. Our scans have detected gravimetric distortions from the planet to the sun, along with some other unknown form of radiation. We believe that's how Celestia controls the sun. Spock nodded. Mara is correct, Captain. We have also theorized that Sea, Luna, and Cadence are part of a race of energy beings similar to that of the Organians, and the others we encountered over the past 3 years. Kirk read his chin and looked over. Spying Twilight, now Rainbow Dash was guiding Zulu, and turned back to lean in. His voice dropped as he spoke. What about Twilight? Is she evolving into this next stage of the development? If she can't, what about other ponies?
Mara growled. All things are possible until they are not, Kirk. I attempted to ask Princess Sparkle, but Spock and I agreed to tread lightly for the moment. Kang nodded to her. A wife just isn't my wife. Only a fool fights the storm.
Keen's eyes darted back and forth as everyone looked at him.
I'm a warrior, but no fool, he said. I'm just not sure about the rest of the crew, or Empire themselves.
Kang crossed his arms.
They are not here. I am commander, and I will take responsibility for the decisions made.
Rainbow Dash crossed her forelegs as she hovered in front of Sulu. So, you fly your ship? Sulu grinned.
That's right, Miss Dash. Well, Pavel and I work together. It's a complicated procedure, flying a starship at warp 8.
Twilight rubbed her chin. Actually, I've been meaning to ask you how the warp scale measures your speed.
Sky spoke up. You queued up the warp factor. That's how many times the speed of light in Enterprise goes. Lastly, Warp 1 is the speed of light itself. Warp 2 is the 8 times the speed of light. Warp 3 is 27 the speed of times light, and so on. On the normal power, we could get to Warp 8, or 500 times the speed of light.
His smile widened.
Or 95,327,000 miles per second.
I did not ever think about that. I never asked about that. But now I know. I hope you folks are happy. Rainbow Dash's jaw dropped, and her waist steadied. I can't wait to go over that tour, Captain Kirk Hansen.
She leaned forward. Well, if you like, I'm certain I could also arrange for a trip of one of ourselves. Not as fast as the Enterprise, but still be in standard orbit for this mission.
Twilight leaned forward. Tell me, Mr. Sulu, how many ponies, passengers, can this cell carry at one time?
Sulu grinned. You're more than welcome to join us, Your Highness.
Rainbow dashed over to foreleg and waved out. I go shotgun!
Everyone started. She started.
Well, I was offered first. Any further discussion died as the main doors opened. Celestia, Luna, and Cadence walked in, a pace announcing their arrival. As they strode in, every pony dropped to one knee and bowed their heads. Even Rainbow Dash and Twilight dropped to the ground and bowed. Celestia walked up to Kurt and Kang. Welcome back, Captains. She looked to the window, just as the sun dropped below the horizon. How has your stay been here so far? Kirk and Kang exchanged a glance. It's been educational, Kirk said, holding up a hand. I must admit, we've learned that there is so much more to learn about your planet, about your culture and people. As my first officer said, it's been interesting so far.
Kang nodded. I agree with Kirk about seeing how much we have to learn. Personally, I'm not sure what to expect here, but it's been rather enlightening for me.
Luna walked up to Celestia's side and locked hands with Kang. Enlightenment is a rare and precious gift, Captain Kang. I'm here glad to hear the attendant. Kang returned to stare and smiled.
I do seem to find myself more thoughtful than normal about Kirk.
Celestia smiled. I hope your crews find Equestria just as enlightening as you have. She slipped away towards the buffet tables. Please enjoy yourselves. Our finest chefs have worked their hardest on these meals. Kang turned to face Kirk.
Now, a real battle begins, Kirk. I shall do my utmost to win our alliance.
Kirk half smiled. I'd be insulted if you did less than your best, Kang. Paused a moment but thumped his chest. Good luck. Thanks to Talon and 4 and Sunsu for helping adding. If they have tanks in Equestria and bullets, they can have shotguns.
Alright! That's the rule of Fallen Equestria!
I am uncertain we'll see sunset proper in Equestria. Well, I know a certain little brother of mine who will love it. See you next chapter, guys!